What up, everybody? And I'm Steve with Elev8, and we have a really awesome Elev8 tonight with Trouble the Maker. I'm really excited to see this guy, get to know him a little bit, just seeing out there all the stuff he's doing. It's just really, really awesome, the pushing. Really quickly, I want to mention, we need your help. We're looking for our Elev8 brand ambassadors, which you can check out at Elev8 Dolls or Elev8 Gents. It's a really cool thing to earn some gear, earn credits, and help build the whole Elev8 brand. We also have Elev8 which is a really cool 501c3 that you can help us out with. Get some glass blowing classes, some vets, as well as some consumption units like the Silver Surfer. All right, now let's get into this Elev8. Welcome to Elev8. We got Trouble the Maker here. I'm really excited. And how you doing today?
What's up, everybody? I'm doing great.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks a lot for joining us. And first question I gotta ask is, how did you get into this crazy glass game, glass blowing? You gotta be nuts.
So I was a big collector. So one of the managers of a store that I affiliate with, it's actually been supporting me forever. Grateful J's, the manager, Tara. One day she looks at me and goes, you know, if you would just get all the shit and make this yourself, I could buy it from you. And so it kind of pondered in my head for a while. And, you know, if you meet the right woman, she's going to bring you to the right places. And so I started dating Tina a little over 10 years ago. And like our year anniversary, she takes me up to this place in Tampa. It's called Zen Glassblowing Studio. It was a 4-hour drive. We spent the week, 4 or 5 days up there. I met a guy named Ned Glassman on the internet who met me there, sold me everything you could possibly need, all the tools, the torch, a baby kiln. And then I spent the weekend there. And I've always been one of those people, and like Dave Walker's the owner of that place. He looked at me one day, later on in our relationship, was like, you know, you seem to go to the top of everything. I said, well, if that's not what you're going to go, then why go at all? And so I started taking trips back and forth to Zen and learning. And I made real good friends with them. I ended up moving out of my garage into the first studio, Oasis 7. Dave drove all that 4 hours away because we made friends and helped me set up a studio. And then we started kicking it. And, you know, I was doing some things beforehand. And one of my, mentors, we'll call him, looks at me one day and goes, you know, why do you want to be this? And I said, I didn't really have the right answer for him. And he looks me in the face and says, go do that glass blowing thing. That's where you belong. He saw me having fun and started getting good at it. Mm-hmm. So I started putting every bit of energy I had, every dollar I had in the glass blowing, and it paid off.
Hell yeah, man. Congratulations on that. And what year did you start this? How long ago have you been blowing glass?
So I'm in it like 8.5, 9.5. I think it's 8.5 years now.
Yeah.
It was January. I want to say January 8th.
We're back.
Sorry, I just got a warning. I'm in Florida. We're having terrible storms right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would have been outside. What was the question? Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Just, you know, when did you start? You know, how long ago did you start doing that and whatnot?
8.5 years ago. But about 5 years ago, 6 years ago is when someone looked at me and went, you're going to have a future with this. You should put all your energy into it.
So about 2 years, you kind of just went in and went out and just enjoyed it.
So originally, Oasis 7 was a studio in the back that I wanted to be involved in the scene. So I built a studio so I could bring people so they could work with me. And that's how I became the Collab King. I've worked with like 65 or more people. I think it's something like that.
Holy shit, man. That's
good. Yeah, there's not many people in the game with my time in the game that have as many collabs.
You got to be hustling. That's all on you. Hustling it, reaching out to people, pulling them to you.
Oh yeah.
Hey, work with me.
I built a studio because there wasn't one in Broward, and I just started saying, yo, anybody that wants to come, yo, a week on me, no rent, just come hang out with me for a week. And so all sorts of guys would come see me. My favorite guy to talk about is a guy named Hatchet, or the Uniballer on Instagram. He owns a company, ZFG Glass. And so Hatchet and several others, but Hatchet particularly, would come down, spend a week with me, sell me a bunch of color, but then take a bunch of his own color and some of the color he sold me, and we would make enough money in work to pay for everything I just bought. I lost my joint. And so that's really how I got started big, is because I had, some people pulling for me. Guys like Treasy, Popeye Glass, those a bunch of Florida guys really took me under their wing and just showed me stuff. And then I would go back and forth to Zen. And so I've gotten a lot of opportunity just because I got the glass, I got the gas. Come on, who wants to work?
Right.
And I got big pitching everybody else. Like, who do you want to see me work with? Let's bring this guy. Let's bring this guy. And eventually we got to bring guys like Pedro Grime, who's one of my favorites. That dude is super fucking humble.
Absolutely. He's right out of the Springs. And I think he's talking about trying to move down to Florida, actually.
Yeah, he's been talking about that forever. I told him, let's go. I love that boy. He's really cool. He was the first guy with like a name that really, really paid attention to me. And so I made friends with Grime. He's been blowing glass about the same time I have. He just had a little more opportunity in the places he was or whatever it was. And so Grime then, makes friends with me. And instead of like forgetting that we've been talking for forever, he comes down to Florida. We throw a show together. He teaches me a bunch of shit. Like, if you notice, my work looks like early Grime work, is because I'm kind of following the footsteps because he gave it to me. Mm-hmm. Came down, threw a bunch of glass together. We threw a show in my favorite shops, Wynwood Smoke and Vape. That's one of the shops that helped me get real big, is because of the Miami community. Like, everybody knows about the Tri-County area, but like, it's Miami. And that was the first Miami store that really put me on. And like my logo's on a wall in Wynwood out there. They put it up and surprised me at one of the shows.
Nice.
So that was really cool. But so I make friends with Pedro Grime, and then I end up flying out to a Vegas Champ show. And he introduces me to a bunch of people. He's like, just follow me. Just come and follow me. I make sure you're good. So I put his stuff on my table. He ended up selling it the first day, and I sold a bunch of stuff. And then one night, I'm hanging out, and I start talking to this dude, and he hears my spiel about, I just want to work with, I don't want to be the best. I just want to work with everybody and be a part of it. And I tell him what I built down south. And I guess Grime had given this guy a heads up about me. And so next thing I know, I get into this long conversation with a guy named Merc.
Yep.
And so then he starts feeding me little tips and tricks through the Instagram and whatnot. And I made friends with his old lady mama. And then one of my favorite people, Soulfire Glass. I got to be a part of something that's, making a piece is one thing, but when you watch somebody shatter their competition piece, me and her burst into tears together, and she comes out behind the table, gives me a hug. And I said, listen, you're in a glass competition called Make a Statement. Your statement is, sometimes shit falls apart.
Yep, absolutely.
And me and her have been really good friends since. And that's kind of like the journey. And like then it just took off from there. Once one person sees you, the next one. And, we just had Hood Rat come down. I got plans to do for the bunch of other guys in November. Grime's supposed to come back. And so throughout this process, like, everybody would help me. And so like I would start helping other people. And that's when you get about 3 years into my career, 4 years into my career. I used to work door-to-door sales job in business suits in the fucking heat with a guy named Jacob. And so me and Jacob would go door to door, and we found out that we could sell stuff really good together. and we would go like just mac on old ladies and sell stuff to them, working for a company called Quill, and we sell them off supplies. Well, so I go open up Oasis 7. I got this studio, and he's on Facebook flipping glass. And I see him. I'm like, yo, what's up? I'm blowing glass. Flip some of my glass. And so he comes to the studio and watches me. He goes, do you care? I'm like, honestly, I'll teach you if you just come here every day. I'm lonely. I have a real need to be part of the energy. I need people around me, good people around me.
Right.
That's what I don't want to be myself. Nobody wants to be alone. If you do, it's because you got some healing to do. I want to be a part of the energy and making the group better. And so I'm like, yo, Nitro, like, I'll show you if you just come every day and we can do this together. Mm-hmm. And so something happened and I lost that studio, and Nitro walked in on me with no electric, and I no longer wanted to do what I was going to do when he left, and getting choked up. And so that's how Lost Boys starts, is Nitro cashes out his 401k and we go and start Lost Boys. God. And that's the Lost Boys story, is we both cashed out every dollar we had left. I sold my Rolex, my Cuban link, a bunch of guns, every motorcycle except for my dad's, and we started Lost Boys.
Fuck yeah. How did you actually get your name Trouble the Maker?
Well, before I was blowing glass, I was a troublemaker, and troublemaker is a play on words because I didn't want to forget where I came from.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, that's really awesome to hear this story, you know, and the struggles of a glassblower is no joke. And, you know, a lot of people are like you, where you don't have a background to just all of a sudden say, hey, give me this money, build my studio and shit. And you got to take everything you got and invest that shit. And
the only thing I know how to do is sell stuff. So if you take glass from me, I don't have anything legitimate left.
Right. But you do now. You have built
the whole future. I got something I could pass to my kids now.
Fuck yeah, man. And that's just beautiful. This art that you're doing now. I love the hustle that you got, the sales hustle you got going out there. Like that's, you know, that's how I found you. I've been following you for a while back, and that hustle is just.
Well, so it's the hustle of power and numbers. You know, what I was doing before glass wasn't so productive, and so when the powers that be over there went, yo, you don't need to be over here. You ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. You did it all already. Go. And I went, and I found a way to make them proud that way. And so I created this little group. And if you notice, like 90% of my work is collab work with the little homies that we are putting on. I grab pizzas from Pizza Boy, and I grab popsicles from Bubbles. And there'll be some wig-wag pants from Nitro, and a belt buckle from Bear, or a piece of chicken from Sunshine. It's always something to make sure people know, like, yo, follow the little homies. Make sure you follow these guys, you know, because everything I do right now, a guy named Hatchet, who's a Lost Boy now, came and let me decorate his pieces. You know, one of the most famous pieces I did was the EAC rig we did when the Finding Nemo and whatnot, right? The East Atlantic Current. So I created Squirt the Turtle with a guy named Treasy. We did Purple Honeycomb Island. That was the first heady I was ever on. But the most famous heady I was ever on was a Dicro UV rainbow line tube upcycler, incycler that I did with Hatchet. I had a bunch of spare parts and leftover turtles sitting on my table, and some coral left over from a Treasy glass show. And Hatchet comes and he's like, hey, I ran out of oxygen. Let me finish this here. You can decorate it. So we make this piece with basically a bunch of spare parts. And I'm not gonna tell the whole story because I don't like the negativity around it, but that rig got around. There's also a really nice picture of my wife holding that rig. It's one of my favorite pieces I ever did, because it was like the start of making headies.
Right. Is that piece still out there then?
I don't even know where that piece is. A guy named Pee Wee was supporting the hell out of me. Rest in peace, cuz he died of cancer. So
Oh,
I
man.
have no idea what happened to his store, if it shut down and everything's gone.
Well, I'm sure it's still out there somewhere. So I'm
It's
sure.
out there somewhere. I don't know where that rig went, man. A guy named Pee Wee bought that, and a whole bunch of other work for me and Hatchet, and I
Right.
don't know where that went. I know where a lot of my stuff is, but that's. I would love to find that piece. Honestly, that's one I'd buy back.
Hell yeah. When you first started this, what kind of glass did you start making? Was it just pipes? Was it just pendants, marbles?
So the first thing I made were these itty bitty sculptures of little aliens,
Oh wow.
and so I made these little alien like almost like a chess piece type stuff, just
All
little
right.
chat. And so I was making that, and I like making little characters. I like that type of stuff. And so actually, a month into me blowing glass, I went up to Zen again, showed Dave Walker, and he ran around his shop going, "Do you see what he made in a month? Look at this! Look at this! Look at this! Look at this! Look at this!" To everybody in the shop, he goes, "This kid, watch this kid." And Dave Walker has been supportive of my entire career, from the background to setting stuff up to moving my studios. Like, Zen Glassblowing Studio is the epitome of there's enough room for everybody to eat.
Nice.
Like that studio is huge. It's a real big thing here in Florida. If you ever get a chance, stop at Lost Boys Studio. But on your way down, stop at Zen.
Hell yeah. With Lost Boys, I gotta ask, are you a Lost Boy fan, the movie?
Oh, it didn't come from that. It kind
Well,
of
I'm glad
came.
I asked that.
We're not a bunch of vampires, but we thought it was funny that we all worked at night. It's more of a kind of a shout to the kid in us from the Disney movies.
Oh,
If you
nice.
look up Peter Pan and the story, the Grimm fairy tale and whatnot. If you've seen some of my T-shirts about my feelings on what you should do to certain types of people, uh, uh, that's what that movie's about. Peter Pan came and saved the souls of the children.
Right. Nice, man. I'm glad I asked that question because they're kind of two different things. So
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of being a Lost Boy is kind of a one in its own thing. Like that, all sorts of people have come just to check us out. One of my favorite people, Goblin King, came to do a collab party for a week just to see what we were about, because he was like, "Man, it's just a crazy thing you're trying to build down here. Like you're trying to build a glass blowing fraternity," and that's what we got. Like in Florida, I've got 7 official guys and 10 total that all kind of have this. I don't want to call it a group think, but it's like all for one, one for all. Everybody in, making sure everybody's eating. If you don't know how to make this, come here, let me show you. Like I got so many products I don't make anymore because I got good at what I wanted to make. I wanted to make cool collab creatures and with cool people and flop people. I'm doing what I'm living my fucking dream at this point. Like, I'm telling you stories about 8 years ago when I was eating grilled cheese and sharing tomato soup with my wife, living in a 1-1 crack house, and like last year I just bought a 3-bedroom.
fuck yeah, man. Congratulations. That's gangster. And I'd really like to point that out, that being a glassblower is no joke. It's not easy. You
No,
went
dog.
ramen to this, and that took you 10 years. People like to think I'm going to come in it.
Fuck no.
And you can't. And I think you
can, and you can by being a Lost Boy. That's kind of what I cut out. I remember how hard it was. So to have someone staying next to me going, "Nah, dog, you're supposed to break shit. You got to blow up 100 headies before you're going to make one you like. Come here. Make that pipe 100 more times. You ain't done yet. And having someone behind you, like I said, I had Hatchet coming down. I was buying color and I'd run through it, and he'd come down and run through it and come down, and he was helping me. And then I started helping Nitro, and I actually, a big part of why Nitro makes wigwags, right, is because Grateful Jay sold me his entire color stock because he took a break from blowing glass. I'm not even gonna tell you what I paid for about 80 pounds of color, but he basically said, "How much money you have in your pocket?" Took what I had left in my pocket and sent me on my way. And we had so much motherfucking line tubing, and I didn't have any. I don't like line work.
Oh,
Not
really?
me. I'm a fume pipe guy. I like fume pipe and sculptures. That's what I like. That's what I make. That's why I make it. So I was like, "Yo, run through this." And he ran through so much line tubing that Nitro kind of taught himself how to do weird wigwags. And then we started paying all the other guys, like, show him something. And then, his work speaks for itself. Check it out.
Yeah, man, that's nuts. Have you taken any classes?
So I've taken all sorts of classes. I've paid for some of them. I've gotten more out of classes that I didn't pay for than I've gotten out of classes that I did.
Why do you think that is?
Because the people that were teaching me cared about me.
So it really comes down to make sure you get a class with a good instructor that cares.
Make relationships with people. Relationships are the most powerful thing. You can have all the money. I'm from Florida. You know what I mean? You can have all the money you want coming into this, trying to fix everything. But if you're a shitty person, shitty shit's going to happen to you. And the better of a person you are and the more opportunity you try to provide other people and, you know, the more support you give around this community, the more it's going to give you back. You know, I have a glass collection that's probably $50,000 to $75,000 worth of hand pipes, pendants, rigs, whatever I could afford at the time to buy from whoever I've met.
Right. So that's one thing I asked. Do you smoke out of your pipes or somebody else's? And it sounds like you're smoking out of all kinds of pipes.
I'm blessed. Sometimes my arrangement is, yo, you're going to stay an extra week. I want a pipe.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I like that because you're not really taking.
I got a pretty vast collection of all kinds of stuff.
That's cool, man. What's your preferred style or technique? Is it just, I know you said fume and creatures.
So I'm a honeycomber. I like to honeycomb everything I make. I think it's cool to add textures and the different, what's the word for it? That 3D effect. I always dug that. That's why I like the old pipes that I would buy would be like the clear stuff with, you know, the gold and silver inside out work. And, you know, when I learned how to honeycomb and I saw the crystal growth, I fell in love with how to do it in different ways. And so like one of my favorite characters to make is Squirt the Turtle. It's a honeycomb turtle. That's probably my most sold piece. I've probably made at least 1,500 of those things. Yeah, there's a lot of turtles out there. Recently, I started making them without the honeycombs, though, with my buddy John. We've been making flower versions of them.
It is that to get the price down. I gotta imagine when you're
actually that's making the price go up.
Yeah,
but it's because I'm displaced right now. The people behind me set my studio on fire.
What?
So yeah, our electric was shared. So now I'm going through that. I'm on my studio number 4, so we're about to move our studio. But it's a blessing in disguise. You got to look at everything. The universe makes you do things sometimes when you decide. Like we've been talking about moving our studio for a while. It's only had 4 bench spaces. We're about to double in size to 8 to 10 bench spaces with a cold working room, with a lathe, with crucibles to pull our own color. So you'll be seeing Lost Boys color coming out this year. Everything to elevate, you know what I mean? About people, you'll be seeing colors that maybe you can't get elsewhere on Lost Boys pipes. And, you know, I'm just trying to make sure my group grows and, you know, the people that fuck with us. And if you don't, well, go over there.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You know, in life, shit's always happening, good, bad, and it's how you take it and what you do with it. And it's that Tai Chi thing. Like you can take it and just fucking fall back, or you can take it and move it and use their energy against them. And it sounds like that's what you're doing.
Well, my father told me that it's okay to cry, okay?
Absolutely.
But when a problem arises, you got to fix it regardless. So you can either cry and fix it or cry then fix it, but you got to fix it regardless. So, you know, you got to just keep it moving, you know what I mean? If you stay stagnant and you let bad shit happen and it stops you, then it's going to stop you. If you let bad shit motivate you, like some of my most beautiful pieces I made in the worst moods. I don't make maybe. Yeah, well, I've had the worst luck since I started blowing glass with my friends dying from the dumb shit we used to do. People didn't grow up when I did. And, you know, like I lost my best friend a year ago.
Yeah, that shit sucks, man. It's a hard game, you know. Yeah, it's tough. What are your favorite items to blow?
So I like I was talking before, I really, really like making my little collab characters that have a piece from everybody in the crew, whether it was the shoes or the pants or the shirt or the belt buckle or the things I put in his hands. I got in this whole game It wasn't to be the best. It was make cool shit with cool people. And I feel like that's my most easily lendable to others vessel. You know what I mean? Like, here, you make the sections for the hat and the pants. Here, you put something in his hand. You do this, you do that. And I get to involve everybody, no matter what skill level they are around us.
Right. Do you give them an exact thing to make, or just say, hey, kind of make this?
It depends. If they already got a thing, then, you know, I teach my guys like, yo, look, you want to grow your name, get good at something.
Right.
Get good at something. It doesn't matter what it is. Get good at something.
And throw it out there a lot.
You know, and throw it out there. Throw a lot of it out there. If it looks like it's in production mode, it'll push. And so, like, Pizza Boy came in. He was already doing pizzas. I said, listen, bro, you know, jack of all trades, master of none. I'm not saying don't learn nothing else. I'm saying master your pizzas. Let's sell as many pizzas as you can sell. And when those stop selling, we'll find you another product. And meanwhile, I'll teach you how to make hand pipes and surlocks and hammers and bubblers and rigs. And we'll master all that shit. But let's get you a product. And like, yo, go look at that boy. He's been with us about 6 months. He has slurper sets. He's got dabbers. He's got pendants. He's got collabs with all sorts of people going down. And I'm not going to release everything, but he's got a lot going on. We got a show we put together, the Lost Boys Pizza Party. He's throwing his first show in like 8 months of Glassblowing because we got pizzas to take off, you know?
Right.
And, you know, it's about the group. You got me posting, you got Nitro posting, you got Uniballer posting, you got Sunshine posting, you got Bubbles posting you, and Pizza Boy and Bear and this one and that one. And now all of a sudden you got 10 guys posting. Well, it's hard not to notice us now.
I love it. It's the community. It's the power of numbers. I love how you're just building this thing, man. It's freaking badass. I love it. What's your favorite color to work with? I'm going to guess maybe clear with fume and silver, but we can't choose that.
Kimball clear. That's a secret. If you know that's a secret I just gave away.
Yeah.
But my favorite colors to work, anything that strikes, man. I like the way striking colors add a little bit of texture with no texture to pieces. I like making monsters. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I viewed myself for a long time. So, and then, I kind of grew into this thing and, then I've kind of started, I used to make trying to like gory, bloody shit, that I learned from grime. And now I'm over here making shit with popsicles and pizzas, throwing parties with smiles on their, if you notice a lot of my stuff, I'm trying to get down the smile.
Dude, I won't even put a smile on a piece or eyes. Like, I don't know how y'all do it because my proportion.
You want to know how you do it? Fuck up a fuck ton of them. You will never make a good eye if you don't make a shitty eye, and you will never make a good eye if you don't make an okay eye. You just got to keep making them shits and go find a friend and make a real friend and watch. Pay attention. Make that friend feel like they're important. I make people feel like I want people to make me feel if I was that stature. You know what I mean? So like. Some people call it kissing ass. Like, no, I make people feel like I want people to make me feel, do on the others. So, but when you see me want to smash you, like, no, that person deserved it. Like, people will say, like, if Trouble's got a problem with you, what did you do to him? Why does he have a problem with you? I know you did something because that dude loves everybody.
Right. That's cool, man. What do you consider the most challenging style or piece to blow?
I still struggle with down stems, so a lot of mine, although I make removable down stem pieces because I think they're easier to clean, I struggle putting them in.
I'm right there with you, brother.
It's like I do get a little intricate and try to make recyclers here and there. I don't like putting things out that I'm not 100% on, and like really like I don't struggle as much these days because I don't go as far out of the box as I should. Because I'm making what I enjoy making. Like I said, I didn't get in here to make these scientific functioning pieces. Like I buy creatures. I think that's cool. I like that type of stuff. I'm literally living my absolute dream. And that's why I push, it's half my conversation today was probably about all my homies. I'm more pushing them now. Like I'm doing what I want. Y'all go, y'all turn. I'm up right now. Y'all next, go.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
You want to see shit? Go watch Nitro's page.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look him up, and we're gonna have to talk to him as well. What's the most amount of time you've ever spent in like one piece, do you think?
By myself or with the homies?
Let's look at both.
All right, so by myself, the most I ever put into a piece was my competition piece for Champs Florida last time. I spent 2 weeks making like 96 pieces, plus the rig, plus the board, plus the design and the whole thing.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, that's.
And then I sold it and bought my Lost Boys ring. Oh, there you go.
Dude, that's gangster, man.
That was my little like milestone. Like it was the most expensive thing I've ever sold. It was a solo piece. And so
getting towards the end,
I wanted something to commemorate it though. I was gonna do a Troublemaker logo, but like, yo, at this point in my career, like, yo, I love myself, don't get me wrong, but like I love the idea of what I built. I wanted to be part of something bigger than me, and now it's become that. And so I bought a Lost Boys ring.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And then what about like maybe a collaboration piece? How long do you think that?
So the longest we spent on the collaboration piece is if you go check out Captain Hook.
Okay.
That's a collab between myself, Nitro Glass, and honestly, mostly Hatchet. We made everything on that, including the skeleton's color was a custom crucible pull that Hatchet had pulled down by himself and then made specifically to make this baller ass skeleton piece with us. And then Nitro made this dope ass wigwag vessel. And then me and Hatchet threw all our sea life on it. It was like 2 weeks with 3 different people on it.
Wow. Yeah, that's insane. So whoever was assembling it, I'm sure was having
Hatchet assembled it, and like so it was like everybody got like 2 weeks in on it though, because anything that wasn't like, yo, we're trying to make a $10,000 piece. If it ain't a $10,000, it ain't going on. And if it ain't perfect, make it again. And you know, that's not a bad thing though. Like guys like Hatchet and Nitro definitely pushed me to be a better glassblower, having them around, because they won't let me put something on a piece that's subpar. So they hold you to having people around like them definitely holds you to a standard, you know?
Yeah. And I think also, you know, when there's different skill sets, you know, one guy might be up here, and if you're working with them, they're pulling you up and you have to reach their skill set.
Otherwise, that's literally the concept of our whole crew. Like it's like, yo, there's some guys in here that really got some information. So if you want to be part of it and grow with us, come on, let me show you what we're doing over here. It's a real special thing, you know what I mean, to have an entire group of people making sure all the shop for bills are covered for everybody, and making sure that everybody's work is moving here and there and hitting up, you know, every time somebody drops something, if you notice the Lost Boys pages, everybody's commenting, everybody's posting it, everybody's sharing it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hell yeah. So usually I ask about competing in an event, and you did compete in Champs event. Do you like those?
So I competed in Champs event. My favorite event that I ever competed in was Fam Glass Show. It was the first time I competed where I was on the floor with everybody.
And that's put on by ABR, I think, right?
Yeah, ABR, who's been a real big supporter of my career. ABR and Mountain Glass are definitely big supporters of Lost Boys and what we do. They've definitely helped us out more times than I can remember, to be honest with you. But I competed up there in Wisconsin, and it was just one of the most fun. It was a very tiny show. Turnout was all right. It was the most fun I ever had at a show. I went out there with Nitro Glass, my homie Bricks, who's my film guy. We're trying to do a documentary behind the scenes of what it's like to come from where we come from the bottom, and turn it into, are we really doing this?
Yeah. That, dude, I love it. That's the American dream. You know, and the opportunities in this world are boundless, but you got to get out there.
Oh yeah, you got to go out and get them. No, I don't want to hear it from anybody. Like there's a will, there's a way. Me and Nitro Glass worked 60 hours in business suits in the hot Florida sun, going door to door, selling Keurig machines. Me and him won a competition for selling Keurig machines at this company. Yeah, we sold like 7-8 of them one day. You know, pencils, paper, like, yeah, we were literal paper pushers.
Hell yeah. Do you consume cannabis yourself?
Huh?
Do you consume cannabis yourself?
I'm consuming cannabis right now.
Oh yeah. Do you prefer flower, concentrates, edibles, or do you just like the whole plant?
I just like the whole plant.
Hell yeah.
I'm with all of it.
Hell yeah, man.
I think everything has its purpose in life. You know what I mean?
I agree. The plant's been there. It was put on there by.
I'm definitely a joint smoker. A joint smoker or a bowl smoker.
All right.
For the most part, I typically dab when my friends are dabbing. I'm kind of snobby. I only like the hash rosin.
All right.
Shout out to the homies, Members Collective, and NWO who keep me steadily supplied.
Oh yeah, that's nice. And you guys just became medically legal out there in Florida, I believe.
Medically legal.
Right on, man. So,
but it's kind of treated pretty legal out here. In Florida, they ain't worried about flower where I'm from, anyhow. Especially I'm from Broward. They ain't worried about flower anymore. I've been pulled over smoking a joint, and they're like, "Put that shit out. Go home."
Right. And that's the way it should be, really.
I mean, I personally think so.
Do you have any hobbies outside of glass, or does this kind of consume your whole livelihood?
So glass kind of consumes me as a whole right now. I just had my son, so that's kind of.
Congratulations.
I used to be huge in the motorcycle club scene. If you know, I got a lot of influence about how I run my company from all that.
Right on.
I like to eat. I'm a big foodie.
What's your
big artist? Oh, I just like food.
All right.
I just like food. Where we going? Something new. I like game meat. I definitely like wild food. Hunting. I hunted for the first time this year. We went and shot a bunch of pigs and fed them. That was really cool. So that's something I'd like to get into. With everything going on in the world, to provide for yourself. I like going fishing. We do a lot of fishing down here.
Yeah.
I do a lot of reef pieces. There's a lot of water stuff over here.
What's your favorite sea creature to make? Would it be a turtle?
I like my turtle, and I like making my tanks. Growing up, my dad always had fish tanks, and my favorite fish was the tang. My favorite words, my first words were fish and flower. So I like the tangs, the bright colors of them.
Okay, I guess I don't know what a tang is. Is that a saltwater fish?
It's a little saltwater fish.
Okay. I'm gonna look into
the little yellow fish. If you see on my piece, they're little yellow fish. They get like 6-8 inches in real life, but mine are always super tiny on coral because I got to make them to the scale and whatnot. But It's a very popular fish. A lot of people, he's used them. Treasy, a lot of people. I learned them from Treasy.
All right. What can we look forward to in the future from you?
Lots of collab work with as many people as I can get to come. That's what I want to do. The growth of Lost Boys. The seeing a group of us walk in the door and hearing us and going, man, who are they? I want to be a part of that.
Hell yeah, man. I like that.
But there's definitely a lot of collab parties in the future. I got some big things lined up. With some friends that I've made over the years. Hopefully it all goes down in the next year or two. So stay tuned.
Well, it sounds like Pedro's coming down there. And then
Pedro loves Florida. Pedro's easy to get. You just say, hey, Pedro, you want to come to Florida? And he'll just say, not in the summer.
Yeah, it's got to be hot down there in the summer, man.
It's hot down here, man. But I hear it's hot in other places too. They tell me it's like 110 degrees in Colorado. Nitro's out there right now. I'm like, that's got to be crazy. But our humidity is like nothing else. Blowing glass here is a bitch in the summer because the humidity build up in your blow tube and slide right down your piece. Whole thing blow up.
You're all drinking and shit, huh? Drinking.
Oh my God, constantly.
Do you find you still have the same love and passion today as when you first started?
I love it more. Glass has given me an opportunity that I wouldn't be able to have any other time. Like, I get to make cool things with my friends all day long. Nobody's telling me what to do, when to work, how long to work,
You're not even working. You're just living.
I'm not working. That's what I tell people. Like right now, I got a lot of downtime because we're moving studios. But I don't work. I go have fun for a living. I live the dream. I watched my dad make another man rich for his whole life, man. And my cousin committed suicide because he hated his job. So when you have certain things happen to you in your life, you kind of think of things differently. And so when I got in the glass, it wasn't like trying to get rich. I was like, yo, let's just try to pay the bills. So like my first couple years, all I made was hand pipes. I didn't even try to make a rig till I was like 5 years in.
Right.
Because hand pipes are going to pay the bills, and I could go make 10, 20, 30 hand pipes, sell them for $10, $20 a piece. You know what I mean? Like I got stores like Grateful J's, Peace Pipe, Honey Pot, Winwood, Levels. Like I could sell as many hand pipes as I make. You know what I mean? Because that's an easy push. And like I said, I was buying them been shopping for years. People haven't invested in my future now. They're the one. It was their idea for me to go do this. Like I was just kind of a popular dude, and then it just kind of translated over.
Right, man, that's neat. Do you have any shout outs that you want to give out that you maybe missed? Because I know you've thrown out a lot. I love it.
Oh, I throw out everybody. My whole thing is I have a lot of people that plug me in situations, and so I want to plug as many people as I can. I'm wearing the Salt Cured outfit. She's introduced me to a bunch of local reggae bands and rock bands who definitely support me and invite me to come open my cases at their shows. Speaking of shows, Trap the Stage at Life. Those boys throw the shows down south. I got big doing something called Trouble's Treasure Hunt at their shows. We go, hey, throw me a couple bucks, and I'd go hide little tchotchkes all over their events. And all their people that support them ended up supporting me and posting me. And like, yo, I'm one of the bigger people in Florida. There's some other guys, Willie the Glass guy down there and the Glass Bubble down there, helped us out recently and gave Nitro those spots of work. Sickle Glass and John Klein are letting me work at their home studios. All the head shops that support us. My wife, Teeny's Trinkets.
Man, you got a beautiful community down there. It just seems like everybody is all.
I believed if I built it, they would come, and I just kept believing in it and staying positive and putting out the energy and just doing things. Anytime anybody's asked me a favor around this community, Trouble will go try over and beyond. I want people to treat me how I treat them. So I make sure that I try to go above and beyond anytime I can. Anybody's ever asked me a favor, I've at least made the phone call.
Hell yeah. And then where's the best place that we can follow you? Is it on Instagram? Should we follow you Trouble? Should we follow?
It's Instagram Trouble the Maker, Instagram Lost Voice Glass, Instagram Nitro Glass, Instagram the Uniballer, Instagram Pizza Boy, Instagram Bubbles. Just follow anybody you see me posting a bunch. I kind of throw everybody out there all the time. Like I said, I got to where I'm at right now because my community supported me for some reason and thought I was cool and just kept going, yo, Trouble, keep going. And, I got a lot of guys behind the scenes that I can't shout out. And I love you guys. Without you, I could not do what I do. And with all the fans, you know what I mean? If nobody gave a shit who I was, it wouldn't matter. So thank you to everybody that's ever bought a piece from me, whether it was a $10 pendant, whether it was $1,000 Eddie, whether it was a $10,000 Eddie that I made with all my homeboys. Like we sell a lot of glass, and you can't sell a lot of glass without a lot of support. So if you've ever bought any piece from me or anybody I fuck with, I appreciate you.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I want to say thanks a lot. I think that was great to end that with. And dude, I really appreciate what you're doing, how you're building this community out there, pushing the glass out there. I love it. It's awesome. I want to say thanks a lot for joining us today.
No, thank you for having me, man, and everybody out there. It's collaboration over competition. We can all lead out here.
Hell yeah. Peace out, brother.
Like.
All right, that was super awesome hanging out with Trouble. I love how he's getting in there, just really pushing the whole Lost Voice thing and just pushing this whole like family. Just amazing. I love that, and I can't wait for a chance to actually get to work with them. Again, don't forget to check us out, subscribe if you like what we're doing here, and tell your friends about this. We got these really cool videos, and don't forget, we got Elev8 Dolls and Elev8 Gents, our brand ambassador program. Really cool way to earn some credits and whatnot. Check it out, as well as Elev8 Vets. It's a 501c3. It's a really cool way to help out people that have helped us out. Anyways, elevate mind, body, spirit.